In February of 1995, we were deeply involved in our small business venture in the outer communities of San Francisco. We were engaged in a retail business of selling exotic plants, trees, and herbs. We were also researching medicinal plants of Africa and the Caribbean islands. We had written and edited several books and magazine articles as well. The last thing to be expected was to be tossed into the enigma of a cosmic creation story and asked to unravel the puzzle of the origins of man, especially of a story outside of the dogmas of science and religions. But here we were, in the middle of this enigma and wondering, why me? The first image to draw us to the wall was these huge symbols, at least 25 feet tall, painted on the concrete break wall of the Pacific Ocean at San Francisco's Ocean Beach. For exercise before work, my partner and I walked on the beach daily. We were familiar with the wall, and when suddenly one day these huge symbols appeared, it was fascinating. I was engaged in astrology and astronomy for years, and I had studied ancient history and metaphysics. We were both engaged in natural science and world lore and legends, especially plant sciences, and focusing on medicinal plants. What could these symbols mean? Moving toward the wall, we saw more symbols and hidden messages. It was all a great mystery. So I decided to bring a camera to begin to document these messages. It was like graffiti, but nobody paid attention to these drawings. Hidden deep in the graphics were messages, mysterious, elusive. My question then was, who's doing this? Who's painting these huge images on the wall? Some images were up to 20 feet tall. Some images were up to 50 feet long. Who could be doing this? Soon my question was answered. Ptah, P-T-A-H. It was written on the wall. Ptah. Well, I couldn't believe that. The ancient Egyptian god Ptah, the former of man, the opener of the mouth. Why would an ancient Egyptian god come all the way to San Francisco to draw pictures on the Ocean Beach wall at the Pacific Ocean? No. I couldn't believe this message. A few days later, Ptah was written on the wall in another location, written in thick blue letters. I had to accept this message. I knew that Ptah was communicating with us, but why? Why us? Solving the ongoing, increasing enigma of the wall graffiti became a challenge. Knowing that the images and the messages were either drawn on the wall or projected onto the wall. But how was this done? The beach was foggy and cold most of the time. The nights were almost always foggy. There was very little light on the beach, and the beach was patrolled day and night by the Park Service, the Golden Gate Park Service. How could I tell anyone that an ancient Egyptian god was drawing images on the beach wall with cryptic messages. Returning home each morning, we always took the grassy, elevated bike trail. Soon, we saw a bird resembling the Egyptian ibis. Again, how could the Egyptian ibis be hiding in the tall grass on the bike trail of the Pacific Ocean in San Francisco? We said, if we see this bird 3 times, we will have to tell the world about the messages on the wall from the gods. Thus began my 25-year journey to tell the whole world about the return of the gods and the return of the blue horn goddess. Who was Ptah, and how does Ptah tie into the Anunnaki? According to the ancient Sumerian texts, especially the Anumu Elish, after many eons of long life of the Anunnaki on earth, they eventually became the rulers of the lost continent of Atlantis. When Atlantis sank with the Great Flood, the gods went to Kemet, the primitive Africa, where they built the civilization of what is now known as Egypt. The Anunnaki who traveled to Egypt to tell the story was Tahuti, known commonly by the name of Thoth. Thoth was the son of Ptah, whose Anunnaki name was Enki. Stay tuned for the next episode of The Cosmic Prophecies of San Francisco and Who's Your Daddy? Part 4.